Welcome back. In this video, this is the first lecture in this Appium automation tutorial. So in this lecture, I'm gonna explain you how you can install the tools that are required for the Appium automation. So basically, the Appium environment setup is the main title for this particular lecture. So let us switch back to the computer mode now. And here you can see in this page, I have literally given you all the steps that are required that you need to follow. So let me go to this Appium environment setup first. So this is my local setup website. So you can see that I'm using this Mac system. I'm not using Windows or Linux. I'm using Mac 10.13.6 High Sierra. That is the version. But if you're using, say, Windows or any other operating system, basically the concept should be same. Like you might not need to install the homebrew in other systems, but there should be some way to install the tools in Windows and Linux as well. But in Mac, specifically if you are using Mac, and I will also recommend using Mac basically because when you are automating these mobile apps and like iPhone apps and Android apps, you need to do your automation on Mac because Mac provides this Xcode and Linux, Windows, they will not provide Xcode. The advantage of using this Mac is that you can do both Android and iOS app automation on the same machine. You don't need to switch between different machines. So that's the main benefit of having Mac, and that's why I will recommend, if you don't have Mac and if you want to do automation of iOS and Android apps, go for the Mac, get new Mac and then do this stuff. So install the homebrew. Homebrew is like installation tool. You can install different types of tools using homebrew. So install using this command. Go to the terminal in Mac and fire this command. Then homebrew will be installed. After that, you will also need community edition of IntelliJ IDEA. IntelliJ IDEA comes with a community edition. You don't need to pay for that. Just download that. It's very popular tool, like studio for development in Java. Then download and install ZDK DMG from Oracle site, or use the command brew cask install Java. I prefer using brew, so you can use this command as well, brew cask install Java. So Java is required if you want to do the Android automation. Then Maven is also required, or if you download IntelliJ, it comes with that Maven will be coming built in with that, so you might not need this Maven. Then you will need NVM. Now what is NVM? NVM is Node Version Manager. So it's the most preferred way to manage the node. Like node comes with different versions, and you can easily switch between different node versions using NVM. That's why I will recommend that you download NVM using brew install NVM on Mac. Then install node using NVM. NVM install 10.5. So basically what this command is going to do is it will install the node's 10.5 version, and similarly you can install other versions as well. The reason why I'm recommending NVM is because this node version matters. Like some node version is not compatible with Appium version, so you have to work with specific versions. That's why NVM is very important. So this will install 10.5 version of node. If you want to install other version, you can install that one as well, and then you can switch to specific version of node using NVM use command. Then finally, the crux of this tools, Appium. You will need Appium, and that comes as the npm package. So this is the command npm install g Appium. So npm is node package manager. When you install node using this command, this is automatically installed npm. So you can directly use this command npm install -g. -g means globally install this Appium. That means this Appium we can use from any command line, not just the current directory or current project. Then Android Studio or Android SDK command line tools, you will need this because to start the emulators, like in the next lecture we will see how to launch the emulators. So to launch those emulators, you will need the SDK command line tools or the Studio. And there is another thing that you need to install, Appium Doctor. That's optional. That helps you to find out what are the issues that are there. Like there are so many tools when you're working with Appium. So Appium Doctor helps you identify what tools are installed, what tools are not installed. So I will recommend you install that one as well. And finally we need to set up bash profile file in Mac. This file is required because you can set the variables there. So here I have given what variables I have set there. Export nvm directory. So this is required for nvm setup. It should be there in your bash profile file when you install the nvm. And then Android home, this is actually the root directory of the Android SDK that you have downloaded. And in the path you need to set certain variables, like for example Android home should be in the path platform tools, especially in that directory, and tools directory. Both these directories should be in the path Android home. And also there's another directory, this one, tools/bin as well. There are a lot of ADB tools and other tools like AVD manager, SDK package manager. So all these tools are there in this directory, so that should be in the path. The reason why that should be in the path is because we can install like use those commands, AVD or ADB commands from any directory in the command line. And this export is used to make those variables as global variables. Like when you do export Android home, that is gonna create one environment variable called Android home with this value. So that's it in this next one is Appium environment for iOS app automation. Now all these tools are required for Android automation. If you want to do iOS automation as well, you will need another 3 tools. Carthage is required. Brew install Carthage, that is the command that you can use to install the Carthage. This is required to download certain packages like WDA packages, and all those packages can be installed using Carthage. Then Xcode is required. Xcode is just like a studio code editor, you can say, for writing these iOS apps or developing iOS apps. And finally we need to install the Xcode command line tools as well, like Xcode select install. So this is the command that you can use. This is required if you want to do the iOS automation. Then I have given here the JDK installation steps which you can follow. Like you will need to set up this Java home variable, like that. You can check the version of the Java that is installed on your Mac using java-version. And as I said earlier, Appium Doctor can be used to see what tools are installed. You can see that I have installed Appium Doctor here and then executed this command, and this is the output of that Appium Doctor. This green tick means that those tools have been installed. You can see Carthage is installed, Node is installed, and if certain tool is not installed, it will tell you. And finally, to set the default node for your command line, you can use this command nvm alias default 10.5. That means whenever I launch new command prompt or terminal, this node will be set to 10.5 version. So all these tools are required. I know it's very like there are large number of tools there, and it can be very overwhelming for you in the especially if you are starting new. But if you follow each step one by one, then you should be fine. And if you face any issues when you are installing all these tools, then definitely you can come back to me, write in the comments or write here in directly. You can start new discussion right under that page, and then I will try to answer your questions. So in next video, next lecture, I will talk about Android emulators and then iOS emulators.